this week, it's like the sky is coming to give you a self-love, self-worth revival, and maybe even give you a little bit of a sneak peek into your hot girl summer, and a little bit of slay into every day is woven into the astrology. And we love that for us.
Welcome to Cosmic RX Radio, a podcast that gives you real-life tools of spiritual empowerment and pure hype. I'm your host and intuitive guide, MADI Murphy. I'll be serving up your weekly energy readings, cosmic boss interviews, and astro inspiration. Are you ready to love yourself more, manifest your dream life, and own your magic? Let's jump in.
Hello. I'm going to get into all of that and more and what it means for you. But first, it's me, MADI Murphy, your high vibe hype woman, your cosmic consultant. How are we doing? Okay. Welcome to what I hope is your favorite hotspot for astrology that doesn't just empower you, but I hope it's astrology that helps you remember who the F you are and maybe makes you giggle a little bit along the way, because we gotta laugh. We gotta laugh at this whole messy, wild ride of being a human, right? So before we get into this juicy episode, I'm very excited for the astrology this week. I'm excited to it's a lot of circling back to things that we've already experienced, but I think better, brighter, bolder, just more grounded this time around. But I do want to check in. How are we feeling after that big square energy? That was a pressure cooker in some moments, but also then it felt like a pull back, like a rubber band, and being shot forward like a slingshot. And it was a lot. But I also know that the astrology of last week, it was an important pivotal switch. So if anything happened to you, you had a meetup or an aha or a breakthrough, or decided to start something or initiate something, do it. Follow how it feels in your body. If it feels good, just keep going for it. Last week was a very cosmically charged week. And as a reminder, we're doing the If Astrology Isn't Real as a separate segment on Friday as a weekly drop, where we review everything that happened in the week ahead in terms of politics, pop culture, and little predictive moments. And just a little PSA, Virgo announcement before we dive into your moon report, into your planetary planning. The next round of Cosmic Boss is open. Our next cohort kicks off in May. And this is my favorite offering. It's your astro-aligned roadmap, cosmic coaching to build your business or brand. And it's opening in May. And we do it in live cohorts. So you join this amazing community of like-minded individuals. You go through all 12 houses, every planet in your birth chart. What does it mean for you? Really broken down into digestible, accessible language that helps you begin to craft your own custom celestial strategy to launch your business, to fine-tune your brand, to bring your podcast or book out into the world. And it's so much fun. And you also get to join this amazing alum network now that we have of 5 years of cosmic bosses who are just crushing it and doing the most amazing things internationally. So if you've been waiting for a sign from the universe to bring your magic out in the world, this is it, baby. Doors open soon. Definitely check our show notes for all the information, and let's keep our third eye peeled for that, okay? Also, hi, if you're watching this on YouTube, I've been loving all the comments. Let me know in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube. We're cozy, we're cash, in my butter yellow suit. Supposedly this color is the color of the spring. This is 4 years old. I love when you're just kind of behind on a trend, and then you're so behind, then you're ahead, and then you're just nail it. But I do love a butter yellow, and I want to thank everyone who's watched this on YouTube, because sometimes, not gonna lie, with my messy, chaotic self, I'll just do this podcast in my closet, in my sweats, hair crazy. It's the thing about knowing that I have a hot date with you to sit and chat has maybe brush the hair, maybe put on a little makeup, or at the very least some moisturizer. I put on this cute suit for some other filming, and it just shifted my whole mood and vibe. So also let this be a reminder, if you're feeling kind of crummy, dress for how you want to feel. And just watch the energy change, poof, magic. It's a potion. So let's get dressed today if it feels good, because it can do wonders. So anyway, hi YouTube. Moon report, pen and paper out. What is the moon have in store for us this week? What's our cosmic self-care calendar? What's our emotional weather report? On Monday, the day this podcast comes out, Monday, Moon Day, we are still basking in that earthly, sensual Taurus moon energy coming off the new moon. We're still going to like really be in that energy of taking it slow, of romanticizing our routines, being really in like the 3D realm, in touch with all of our five senses, and practicing like rest and spaciousness with intention, practicing like doing something that feels really good, like light a candle, eat something that tastes like a hug, maybe get a massage or do like a foam rolling session for your body or a long like yummy soak. And then we switch gears. Tuesday, Wednesday, the moon moves into Gemini, and we know things get buzzy when the moon moves into Gemini. So think movement, curiosity, conversation, clacking, yapping, meeting. Like if you've been putting off a catch-up call, this is a great time to do it. If you need to put some pen to paper, do some writing. If you want to have a brainstorm sesh, if you want to pitch something, great time to do it. But like one thing to look out for is like sometimes just watch what you say, okay? Because sometimes Gemini can stir up the drama where we're like we're hyped up, and all of a sudden we start saying stuff that we maybe like shouldn't, spilling like state secrets, spilling things that aren't ours to tell. So just like pause a little bit before that. Use our mercurial magic wisely. And then Thursday and Friday, the moon moves into Cancer. So we're headed deep into our feels. We're headed deep into our home. We're headed deep into like being our own cosmic mama. And, you know, Cancer moon can bring like emotional waves. You might feel like amazing, heartful, so happy one moment, and then like sad and despondent and overwhelmed the next. And we're just going to like not be overly attached to any of it. Just grab your emotional floaties and like ride it out and just practice on like diving into nourishment and focusing on like, what do you need? When I was writing the chapter about Cancer energy in my book, I really was like, Cancer energy to me is just like, I need what I need. I need what I need to nourish myself, and I don't want to apologize for it. And it helps me just show up better for the rest of the world and everyone else that needs me. So checking with your inner child, practice being, you're like, remother yourself a little bit, home cooked meals, spiritual hygiene, saying no, having boundaries. These are like not optional these days. This is definitely your cosmic prescription. But we're just going to look out for a shadow energy. Sometimes Cancer moon days can make us very like clingy and kind of like smothery of people we love. So let's just give them a little grace and space too to be in their feels. Okay. Not get overly attached to that either. Saturday and Sunday, the moon moves into Leo. And this is our big weekend forecast. Is like, let's get loud, J-Lo style. Oh, first of all, have you seen J-Lo like slaying? Oh, there's an amazing like J-Lo moment out there that happened last week. I think it was when she's like out. These like race car drivers wearing this like snatched pink like latex like race car outfit. Anyway, that's what I want you to embody. That's what I want you to channel this weekend. I want you to take center stage vibes. I want you to get really in your body. I want you to have fun. I want you to express yourself. I want you to dress like your Venus sign. I want you to act like your aura is on fire. I want you to walk into every restaurant and be like, everyone here is in love with me. I am the main character. I want you to say yes to joy. I want you to have a dance party in your kitchen. I want you to post a freaking sacred thirst trap. I want you to hype yourself up like big time and really act like that bitch, because you are. Okay. I just love a Taurus sun, moon and Leo. Again, it's like spring here in the Northern Hemisphere. And like, ooh, let's take advantage of that. Okay. Because also we have Mars and Leo, right? So there's like lots of fun, fire in the sky, and also with some other things I'm going to get into in a moment. So speaking of fire, let's get into planetary planning. Now, Santino is waking up. Santino's just been sleeping at my feet. If you hear him, hi, he might join us. Okay, so planetary planning, fire. We're going to zoom out now. It's like what's happening, like the big headlines of what you need to know for this week. And of course, we'll give you a little cosmic RX for each one so you really understand how to work with it to align with that highest, hottest self and really like make sense of what's happening as above, so below. So April 30th to June 6th, Venus is in Aries. Now, Venus was already in Aries. Let me get those exact dates here. This year in 2025, this was part of Venus retrograde. We were in Venus in Aries. Oh my goodness. Where was the exact date? March 1st, I believe it went in. I'll pull that up while I'm chatting. So this is what I'm saying. This is like hot girl self-love summer vibes, but coming back to be like, what did you learn? Especially like in March, what did you learn about loving yourself, about your worthiness, What did you learn about like pouring into yourself and picking yourself first as like the ultimate act of love, self-love, but also of like kind of showing up for your relationships better? Okay, so Venus and Aries, those dates were, drum roll, please. Oh my God, February 4th, Venus went to Aries. Wow, way back. February was a little bit of a blur for me, so I apologize. February 4th, Venus moved into Aries, and then Venus went retrograde in Aries on March 1st. And then Venus moved into Pisces on March 27th. So let's just call it February, March. What do we learn about ourselves? This Venus in Aries really reminds me of like, it's time to reclaim your fire and it's time to pour into yourself first as your biggest and best investment ever, right? Venus rules money and our values. Aries is ourself. I saw this TikTok over the winter. I wish I had saved it. And it was this girl saying like, yeah, like definitely if you're with, have a significant other or you're starting to date someone or been with someone for years, yeah, like dote on them for sure. Take care of them. But she's like, really at the end of the day, people want to be with people who take care of themselves. And she was talking through a heteronormative lens. So I'm going to use that like in terms of men. Like, and she's like, yeah, like you could pour your energy into like taking care of a man. Why would you? It's like, sorry, so sassy. But like that energy, maybe you think like, oh, the best way to like show up for this relationship is to pour myself into him, to cook for him, to what does he need? What does he need in his life? And she's like, actually, like, and then this is her revelation. And I kind of agree with this for the most part of my marriage. It's like actually like pouring into myself, taking care of myself, making sure I feel good, making sure I feel confident, making sure I feel clear, making sure I feel sexy, making sure I feel fulfilled is like the best way I can show up in my relationship. And it also makes me very like magnetic and attractive to my partner. And I'm not looking for my partner to like fulfill every part of me. Does that make sense? So I think like with this Venus and Aries, it's like, let's come into ourselves through June 6th. Let's like find something that like is an obsession just for us, something that lights our vibration and our frequency, turns it all the way up to a freaking like 11. And maybe make it say a little like mysterious, do some things that are a little independent. That's like a very, again, magnetic energy. May 2nd, more Venus energy. Venus and Neptune in Aries are going to conjoin. They're going to kiss in the sky. And this is the third time that Venus and Neptune have come together this year. And so when Venus and Neptune come together, it's kind of like cosmic cute energy. You might have something happens on around this day where you just like have like a chance meeting. Something happens that's like, big, like cosmic karmic shifts in love come up. The other dates of this were February 1st and on March 27th. They were in Pisces then. That's when Venus and Neptune was still in Pisces. They kissed then in the sky. So you can look back at February 1st, March 27th, what was going on. That was more passive. That was in Pisces. That was dreamy, this sort of ethereal. That was maybe a little bit less like, more like abstract, less like, what am I supposed to do with this energy? Now, Venus and Neptune come together for this like third part of the story. It's asking you to take a leap, babe. It's in Aries now. It's fearless. It's bold. It's trailblazer. It's initiatory. It's going, right? It is doing something like, let's shoot your damn shot when it comes to love, money, your self-worth. Like no vision around these things is too idealistic. And again, it might come from a really intuitive spot because Neptune's involved and from the heart space because of Venus. So say the thing, text the crush, paint the dream, go after that bag, be a little delulu about love as long as it feels good to you and it's in your power, right? And then the last big headline for the week is Pluto goes retrograde in Aquarius, obviously. And this happens every year, and this will be through October 13th. So this is just like happens every year from the spring to the fall. Pluto goes retrograde, which just means usually like on the collective level, we might see a lot of power dynamic shifting on the world stage, hopefully. But like on our personal level, I would look at where you have Aquarius in your chart. You might see some things like some friction being stirred there. You might see some like reflecting, some shadow work being asked of you in the Aquarius part of your chart. If you don't know where you have Aquarius in your chart, come join us in Cosmic Boss. We go through every wheel of your chart, look at every sign, what you have going on there, and really break it down for you of how to work with it. And like it might bring friction to Aquarius things, your vision, your collaborations, your friend groups. We're not panicking. We're not internalizing. We're pausing and seeing like what we can learn about this. How can we go deeper with this? How can we like kind of face something head on that normally maybe we would like shy away from? So yeah, do an audit of your team, do an audit of your tech, do an audit of your long-term vision and strategy, and just make the necessary adjustments and trust the process, okay? It's a good time to check into are things around you feeling sustainable, right? Sustainable equals sexy. We like to say around here. Well, perfect timing. Santino is ready to be picked up. So on behalf of Santino and myself, that's the Cosmic Tea, babes. And just remember, as we go through some of this really potent astrology this year, remember, it doesn't control us, right? It's not about being punished by the planets. And it's not even about our fate and fortune being written in stone. It's just another language to empower us, to help us understand ourselves more fully. And I want you to use this week's astrology, just like last week's, we're still in Taurus season, to prioritize pleasure, to protect your peace, but also to fan the flames of your inner fire, to invest in yourself, to pour back into you. And if no one told you today, we think you are magic. You are the medicine. The world is better with your light in it. I'll see you next time. Same stars, same sass. Obviously sending you blessings for big, fat, juicy checks and hot, fulfilling, toe curling sex. Stay cosmic, stay bold, stay bad. And of course, DM me with some of your hot girl energy this week. I love to see it. It does a lot for me. Okay. Until next time. Mwah. Do you love getting your Cosmic RX for the week here and want more? Make sure to sign up for our premium subscription so you can get exclusive access to bonus podcast episodes, all of my astrology info for the month ahead, and live new and full moon calls to help you manifest your dream life with an intentional international community of other cosmic baddies. Sign up through our link in show notes.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you want to know more about Cosmic RX, head on over to thecosmicrx.com. And if you really love this show, I'd love it if you left a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. I super love hearing from you and reading your reviews. All right, you cosmic baddie, tune in next week. And until then, remember, love yourself fully, work your magic, and take no shit.